Well, good morning. My name is Brittany Francis, and on behalf of the person that brought you onto this call, that means that you are new to this organization or you're wanting to just grow your organization and your franchise bigger and larger than you've ever done before. We are so excited about this morning. My husband and I do this full time. My husband was a car dealer for over 20 years. We were introduced to this technology, and he's going to pop his head in, even though we're recording. I'm just going to have him pop his head in real fast. Just say hello.
Hello.
Because he's going to be headed to our son's football game. Because guess what? We have the freedom to do that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But, this is going to really be, I just started, what do I do? What do I do? I just started in the last couple weeks. I just started in the last couple months. I'm starting to get excited, or I don't know what to get excited about yet. Hopefully this is all going to answer that today. Okay. So remember that we cannot guarantee you any income. Okay. Your decision throughout the next few years is going to decide how much you make. And so that's what we really want to do is help you once you're decided to really run. Now, if you just started utilizing this technology this last week, or this last month, I want to make sure that you have a tracker, okay? Because what you're developing is you're developing a story, okay? And that story is going to be very powerful for the people that you know and for the people that you love, okay? That story is going to be, by the time day 47, I felt a little strange. And then all of a sudden, X, Y, and Z started happening. I went to the doctor and my blood work came back and I was taken off of this medication. That's the story that you're starting to develop. Okay. So I really want to impress on you and also those of you that are leaders to always get everyone a tracker so that they can track how they feel. Now, the long-term results, what I want you to understand is the first few days, 4,000 genes reset. Okay. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. It's starting to balance. So PTSD, anxiety, depression, memory loss, a lot of these pieces that we struggle with along long COVID, there's a lot that brain fog was miserable, right? I had it 4 times. It was absolutely miserable. Those things start being taken care of. And within 3 months, the collagen begins increased. So you see a decrease in wrinkles, hair growth increases. So those of you that are hairstylists, that might be on here that are watching, that are saying, look, I need an additional stream of income. This is it. What I want you to understand is that we have to paint the picture of what this technology does. This technology is not, it is not a Band-Aid like what we're used to with medication. This is activating your body to fix itself. So, as leaders, because you are going to be future leaders of multi-million dollar businesses, we have to paint the picture of what is going to happen because we always want everyone to understand that they don't have to do this for a lifetime, but why would they not? Okay, why would they not? Why would they not want to wear this for the rest of their lives if they understand the power of what this is? Okay, 6 months, the cardiovascular age of the heart reverses. And if you utilize this technology for 6 months or longer, the average age reversal is 8.5 years. 86% of people had an age reversal and have an age reversal at the mitochondrial level of 8.5 years after utilizing this technology for 6 months or more. This does not have to be something that you wear forever, but let me tell you, when you paint the picture and you see the pictures and you show the pictures, why would we not? So that's something that I really want to impress on you today is you really want to remember that this technology is something that you want to utilize for a long time because life happens. Like yesterday, I fell, life happened, and my body very instantaneously was able to fix itself, which 4 years ago, that would not have been the case. Okay. This is our why. Okay, these are our whys. I get these text messages all of the time, and this is what's going to be your future. Okay, we got a text message this week, and I wish I would have screenshot it, but I didn't, from a dear friend that my husband ran into, he and his wife, just at the grocery store, and it was just perfect. We talked to them, and we really missed doing life with them. With it, especially Michael, we knew him. He's just a great guy, just a great guy. And he sent a text message. He was like, "Is this normal?" He's sharing his testimony. And I was like, so normal, so normal. And so, we want to normalize the fact that lives are going to change. So keep these testimonies as your whys. As you start patching people, as I start sharing with you the system that we have in place, keep your text and as whys, because sometimes people will tell you no, and you want the patch for them more than they want it for themselves, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even my family, there's some of my family that has said no, and I've had to love them and say, man, whenever I go and visit them and they're aching and they're in pain and they're miserable, I've just had to love them where they're at. Okay. So just keep that on track. Now, this is something before we really jump into the rest of this, I want to jump into a couple of slides that made a massive difference for my husband and I. I mentioned earlier that my husband was a car dealer for over 20 years, and we were looking at franchises. And what you have your hands on really is a franchise. Without spending the franchise fee, without the total investment, without all the liquidity requirements, you have a massive franchise on your hands if you choose to. And so when my husband and I looked at this, it was really, really made a huge difference for my husband and I to really grasp the concept of direct sales. We've never done direct sales. What you have your hands on is something where a company has something unbelievable on their hands. They didn't know what to do with it, and they said, we can pay for advertisement or we can pay for people to advertise. And we are the advertisers. And so when Rick and I looked at this, I said, Rick, wouldn't we tell everybody about it anyways? The answer is yes. And so that's what you have your hands on. This is not an MLM direct sales, everyday run of the mill thing. Okay. So what you want to do is with pride, look at this patch and know that every single place that you go, you are purposely placed in that room to impact the lives of those in that room. I got on the airplane to Miami with my husband last week and then last night on our way back. And I got on that plane with the understanding that every single person that was going to be on that plane with us was going to absolutely need us. And it was true. They needed us. And so there was an ER doctor that was just fantastic, just a great guy. I can't wait to do life with him. And you know what he said? I'm into technology. I'm into red light therapy. I know what the power of this type of photobiomodulation technology does. And I've been looking for an exit strategy. I want in. See, when you understand what you have your hands on and the power of what you have your hands on, no one can poo-poo it. Nobody can say no, and you get down because you just realize that they don't see opportunity. And you just love them where they're at and you keep going because this is where you're at. Okay. This is where you're at. You are in an early adopter stage of an organization of a company. Okay. Now, this company has been around for 20 years, but when the X39 was developed, early tech enthusiasts, innovators painted the way for us, and we are now in the early adopter stage. This is a once in a lifetime, once in a generation opportunity. So if you really make a decision and you say, you know what, I am going to impact the people that I know and love, you want to understand where you are because you are going to become a very good vision painter. You know what you have your hands on because you're going to watch so many testimonies, which I'm going to show you where you're going to find them. You have testimony upon testimony upon testimony of what the power of this patch does when you use it properly. You put it on 12 hours a day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. right? And what you want to do is with this technology, you want to make sure that you paint the picture that the longer that somebody utilizes it, the more changes in their life are going to happen. The early majority is coming. We are in the early adopter stage. You know that early majority. I wish I would have then. If I would have known about it then, I would have jumped in. Well, you know about it now. And that's where you're at, is in this early adopter stage. I looked up on the internet and I'm going to screenshot this. This type of opportunity is once in a lifetime, which is very cool. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys that on Monday. We won the Biotech Award in Stem Cell Innovation. The reason why I'm showing you this is because if you are new and you have a list of people that you're going to impact, and some of them say no, or some of them say that they don't believe what you have your hands on, you have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt what you have your hands on. Out of thousands of nominations, out of 15 countries, we won the Biotech Award of Stem Cell Innovation. That's it. Mic drop. If they don't believe it, it's okay. You move on and you love the next person. We have the global patents. We have PubMed that stands behind us, okay? Because the global patent is GHKCU copper peptide is elevated in the body. You've seen that in the presentations. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to go to PubMed. If you say, I'm really still doubting what I have my hands on, you need to go to PubMed and you need to look up GHKCU. Okay. And the reason why is because you're going to find tons and tons and tons and tons of studies of what the elevation of that GHKCU copper peptide does when it's not injected and it's just simply elevated. Because when it's injected, you see this spike of change and then a drop. The body is naturally changing this, which is huge. And then our innovator, our inventor, David Schmidt. Okay. I believe, and I'm saying this on a recorded line, and I know that, but I'm just telling you what I believe. I do believe that our company is going to be the company. I believe that this is going to be the company that places eliminating cancer on the map. That's what I believe. After studying what I've studied and seeing the future of what we have our hands on, I personally believe that. I cannot say that we're making medical claims, but what I can say is I've seen incredible things happen with this technology, and I'm seeing what the future of what we have our hands on. This is not a one-hit wonder. The future of this company is very, very bright. It is the future of household names. And so again, this is a once in a generation. The reason why I'm spending so much time on this, because if you believe this piece, the rest of this is going to be simple piece of pie, piece of cake. You're going to run, you're going to impact millions upon millions of lives. And that's what's going to be so neat. Okay. So the patented superior energy source that's coming in a generator that nobody else will ever have. Okay. And then the patented light technology that's coming out that infuses water or infuses light into water. Okay, and then our drone technology that LifeWave has that is going to be known as a humanitarian aid. We're going into areas and we're dropping necessities to areas that were hit with hurricanes, that were hit with natural disasters. So really, it's very, very, very special. And this documentary, like I said, The Code of Creation, this is coming out, guys, about our company. Because of this, this is your future. And I would absolutely say to grab the next 25 minutes with all your heart and say, this is it. This is my bookmark. This is my moment. And nobody is going to take it from me. Okay. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people will not. We were asked by a dear couple on a trip that we were at this weekend. How are we going to win? How are we going to win this? How are we going to move in this? And I said, let me tell you, although we have major freedom, this is work. It is a business, and I treat it like a business. You want to be able to spend the rest of your life like most can't. And if that's what you want, the amount of time that you invest, I'm not saying that you have to invest hours a day, but the amount of time that you invest in this is what you're going to get out of it. Okay. And the amount of time that you invest, wise time, because you could spend 15 minutes a day in this and do very, very, very well, as long as you're doing it wisely. And that's why we're doing this call. So who can do this? Anyone, okay? Anyone who walks in gratitude, you don't want grouchy people. Okay? I'm just gonna say it. If you're grouchy, you probably don't like people. Okay? So you want people who love people, who desire to win, who are entrepreneurial minded. Do not get scared of people that make a lot of money. One of our very close friends, I'm going to even say it, Lou Brown. He does very well. He has multiple streams of income, and he was introduced to this and he said, I love the community. I love impacting people. And I know people that want to impact people's lives, and I know people that desperately need this. And he wants to win in everything he does. And so that isn't any one formula. Okay. I normally would have been scared to talk to somebody like Lou because I said, he doesn't want to, he's not going to want anything. He did. Okay. And his sponsors knew that. Anyone who takes their excuses and exchanges them for truth. Oh, it's so hard to talk to somebody. No, it's not. Not when you know that this is going to change their life. It's going to change their life, right? And anyone who's willing to play follow the leader, we're going to lead you up an incredible road that's going to impact so many lives. Just play follow the leader and you're going to win. And anyone that is willing to dream and build upon the dream, because the dreams that have been set on your heart were set there for a reason. Okay, they were set for you to win. They were set for you to take. They're not just dreams for you to just dream, but you have to grasp them and you have to run. Okay, so you have to set aside fear of talking to people. Okay, even if you're not a people person, but you love people, you just have to set aside that fear. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. And you want to exchange that fear with belief. You believe again that you were placed in the room for a miracle. You want to know that you're an answer. At the grocery store, we know that we're an answer. On the airplane, we know we have an answer. In church or in our community, in a meeting, we know we are an answer. We're looking for the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed people that, or the people that look like they need hope and they could use hope. Okay. So get rid of a small mindset. Recognize that you are a pioneer and this is a once in a generation opportunity. And do not underestimate what is on your hands. Okay, so here we go. Now that you know what you have your hands on, this is the launch plan. It is so incredibly easy, and I'm going to walk you through this. First of all, do you have access to our tools? And I'm going to show you these tools in a minute. TopTierStart.com is newer. We created this for our team because we want just click, 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 click. We have School, which I'm going to show you how to get into School, which is a great resource of a library. But just like when I got on the plane last night next to this lady who is a stem cell expert, ironically, 82 years old, stem cell expert, she and I were talking and she said, I want some information. I want some really good deep science information. I said, no problem. I was able to go to toptierstart.com, scroll down for more science, grab something, tap it, open it up in YouTube and send it over to her. So we really tried to make Top Tier Start your best friend. Okay. And then where do you find presentations? Toptierstart.com and School. Okay. Do you know how to find testimonies? I'm going to show you that today. Okay. So do you have access to our tools? Next, you're going to patch people. Okay. That doesn't mean that you're handing out patches and you're giving out samples. What that means is you're going to have the list of the people that you know who immediately need the patch. Okay. I thought of you because I'm bringing a technology to the area and I think you should bring it with me. I think we're going to impact a lot of lives. Hey, I have a Zoom that I really want you to watch. It is absolutely fantastic. And it's going to explain the technology because I'm newer, but I know that there are so many lives in this area that desperately need this. And I want you to watch it. Would you watch it with me? Wait for their answer. And if they say yes, you send them an opportunity. Okay. And how many people have you decided to do that with? Remember, I said 15 minutes a day could make your life completely different. 20 minutes a day, half an hour a day, an hour a day could totally, completely change your life if you do it correctly, right? So if you decide how many people you want to connect with, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a 45-minute conversation. It's a 2-minute phone call, 3-minute phone call. You send them the Zoom, and then you do the follow-up of, hey, what did you think? And not even what did you think? Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you liked about that Zoom. Tell me what you're seeing that we could do in this area. Don't send a willy-nilly follow-up. What did you think about her, the one that talked about her kidneys completely changing? That blew my mind. Do you know how many people we could impact with this? Paint the vision, okay? And remember, your urgency is not their emergency. Okay. So my aunt, she's my best friend in the whole world. And she has Hashimoto's, which is what I had. I had. And, you know, I've tried to get her to utilize this technology forever. And you know that she finally this last week said, send me your link. And I said, well, I'm not going to send you my link. I'm going to get your information. I'm going to order them. But I said, what changed? And she said, I'm that miserable. See, I continued to just kind of send some testimonies. Aunt Sandy, you're missing it. I love you, but you're missing it. I don't want you to be miserable. I painted the picture where I was going with this and where this technology could take her. And that's what you are going to be, is you're going to be a great vision painter. When we jumped into this, we signed up 44 people. I thought it was less than that. It was 44 people before we became what you call a director. 44, because other people didn't see it yet. They didn't see what they had their hands on. It took a minute. But once they saw it, we exploded because we've got a few people that can see the life change. Okay. And so just understand that your urgency is not their emergency, okay? And you want to plug them into the opportunity like this morning and teach them to do the same thing when they jump in. Okay? You're a leader instantaneously. Even if you've enrolled one person, you have a franchise. Okay? So that's important to understand. Now, I've developed this because everybody has different personalities. So if you look at this and you go, this is not my cup of tea, then don't you worry. Okay. This is fine. But some people like roadmaps and they like color coordination. So here's your script. Here's some important things to remember. And then if somebody wants to do their homework once you've sent them the Zoom, if they decide that they need it but are not ready to share it, they're either a brand partner or preferred customer. If they're ready to light up the world, what are you going to do? Okay, so this really, really helps you build a understanding, and you can print this and keep this so that you can impact lives in a major way and go, okay, what do I do next? Okay, so this is really, really helpful. And you want to make sure that you keep an organized list of the people that you've spoken to, because there have been times that somebody's come up on my mind like 3 or 4 times, and I'm going, did I call them? Did I talk to them? I don't know if I did. Okay. So what is the system? Okay. You want to know your why and your goals. And I'm going to show you where you find all this information. Okay. But you want to know your why. Okay. My why, people thought, was just to get my husband home. That wasn't necessarily my why. My why was we have 4 children and we had moved from Albuquerque to Houston. I had a pretty scarred childhood. And so I wanted consistency for our kids. We were going to have to buy another dealership up north in Dallas, and I didn't want to have to move our children. That was my why. I wanted consistency for our family. So that was my deep why. Yes, I wanted my husband home with me, but I wanted, I had a deeper why. Okay. And my goal was 50,000 a month in the first year. That was my goal. And so I had to set whys and goals. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. And then begin to establish a list of who you know. And I'm going to show you where you see these steps. You're going to establish a daily method of operation, how many people you're going to call, how many people that you're going to love, how many people you're going to contact and follow up with a day. And then you want to learn toptierstart.com. And we're going to do that real quickly today and know the assets that are provided. Know how to package the story that you have your hands on. And then you're going to watch a training or two a week and attend events. Okay. This is the system. Okay. And if you plug in and then you have multiple people that plug in as well, you have a massive franchise on your hands. Now, this is toptierstart.com. So if you're sent that and you're like, I don't know what to do with it, your sponsors are learning. Okay. So they shouldn't have just sent it to you. You don't just send it. You're going to say, hey, open toptierstart.com. And I'm going to walk you through this. First, there's a welcome video. And that's just going to tell you that you go down this list when you have time. Don't be overwhelmed. It's a link forest, not a link tree, but it's everything that you're going to need. Next, before you start, just make sure that you join all these different links. And you're just going to tell them what it is. If you know this by heart, you can literally onboard people while you're on the phone with them. That's why I really like the link tree, because if you know it by heart, I can call somebody and say, hey, go to toptierstart.com and tell me when you're there. Perfect. Do you see that welcome video right there? Awesome. I want you to go ahead and click that after we get off the phone and watch that welcome video. Next, there's some links. I want you to join. See how I'm just going through and I'm flowing? I was able to onboard 6 people in the airport last week because I knew it by heart. Okay. And then the save the one-stop landing page. And then there's a printable business guide, and that map is also uploaded on it as well now, so that you have that at the very top. There's your determining your why and you're setting your goals. All right. And then when you have 10 steps that you're going to go through on toptierstart.com, and some people may skip those steps, I would encourage you not to skip. And let me show you why. Okay. All right. You can see I was already in it this morning, sending information. But I want you to see this. Okay. Okay. If you like to stay organized, I don't. Here's the list of all the things. I'm not an organized person. I'm working on it. That's something I'm working on. If you want to create a binder, these are the must-haves and instructions on how to use the binder. But here's your step 1 and your step 2, knowing your why and setting your goals. And you want your people to learn to do this. And you want to know their goals, okay? Build a daily method of operation. Remember that daily method of operation? Here it is right here. Writing the names and learning from somebody like Donnie Anderson, who's an absolute amazing man in his 80s that is making an impact in the world with this technology because he knows that it's legacy. Then you're, again, understanding your daily method of operation. How can I decide how many people I want to talk to? And packaging your story. Then how to talk to people. Look at this, guys. How to start a conversation. Your tone matters. This is such a phenomenal video. Okay. And then what do I say? See, I didn't need to know what to say. I just listened. All I did was I said, hey, I said, I'm bringing a technology to the area. How much do you know about stem cells? Well, I know that it's like thousands. That's what I thought too. What are you doing in about 20 minutes? Well, nothing. I'm driving. Can I send you this video? I'm bringing this technology into the area. You and I are going to rock this thing. We are going to impact so many lives that we are going to look back and we are going to be ridiculously grateful that this was placed in our hands. Well, what is it? It's going to explain it, but it's a technology that activates stem cells. It's unbelievable. Can you watch it really fast? And the answer is yes. Great. Yes, yes, yes. So this is going to be your key. Okay. And then next, what do I say? What do I say again? How do I invite to a Zoom? You want more information, or what about starting a text to begin the conversation? It's all right here. Okay. Social media launch ideas. Hey, I want to have an in-home launch party. This is how you do that. What about I want to get somebody on a 3-way call? Here's a 6-minute video on how to do that. See, this is not something to get overwhelmed with. You're an entrepreneur. You have a franchise and this is your turnkey operation. You just purchased a McDonald's. What do you have to do? You have to go to a McDonald's school. You just purchased a franchise. What do you have to do? Eventually watch these videos so that you know what you're doing and you know how to lead an army. I remember looking at Danny and Rick had left to work and I said, it's not going fast enough. And he said, Brittany, are you prepared to lead a volunteer army? It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, no. And he said, well, you're not going to be given an army until you're ready to lead an army. And that changed everything for me. I said, I'm going to lead an army. I'm going to learn how to do presentations. I'm going to learn to do in-home presentations. I'm going to learn to get on the phone and I'm going to be able to, if somebody in my volunteer army calls me because their aunt needs this, I want to be the three-way call that they use. I want to learn how to do that. I was very decided. Okay. And this along the way helps you get decided how to track, how to follow up. Look at this, you guys. Everything. Common objections, what never to say. And one of them is going to be, well, what did you think? Like what I just got stuck or caught saying. So all of these little things are just, they're short videos, but they're so powerful. And then how do you enroll? Okay. You enroll either a brand partner who sees opportunity or a preferred customer. And we're going to cover this in a minute. Okay. But ways to enroll. You can send the order form. I don't do that. I get the order form. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I get the order form filled out. I fill out the order form. A copy and paste text to welcome a new preferred customer and what I send them. And guys, I don't just send them these links. Okay. I need you guys to hear me. I tell them what to do with them. You remember you're leading them. You don't just send them. So you say, okay, I sent you all these links 2 days ago. I want to make sure that you click on Patch with Purpose because this is going to be where you're going to be able to ask questions and you're going to get a hold of doctors and hear from people utilizing the technology and how the technology works. Are you in that yet? No, I saw that you sent it to me, but I didn't know what to do with it. Okay, this is what you're going to do with it. And then you tell them to join. Okay. And then new brand partner onboard. Okay. This is how you're going to onboard them. Counsel your upline. And then repeat. And then how to hit manager, which we're going to cover today. I promise you we'll get through it all. And then your scripts, your grab and go presentations. Look at all these. Okay. More science needed. Okay. So like this lady right here, she wanted more information. I said, let me send you for health practitioners. And she said, perfect. Biotech award, my emergency room doctor. What do you think he needed to see? That we won the biotech award in stem cell innovation. What do you think that that did? That eliminated all of his doubt. Okay. Spanish information, trainings. Okay. Book of the month, forums and downloads. Okay. All patch information, business industry strategies, how to get out of whatever industry you're in or how to add to whatever industry you're in. Look at this. Guys, this is gold, but you have to just calmly look through it and know your tools and your assets, right? And then you need to make sure that your people know their tools and their assets because once they do, they will absolutely win. You want to know where to find things because once you know where to find them, you can just impact so many lives immediately, even if you're in a grocery store and you just need to send a Zoom. This is at info.com. This is where there's 2 short videos, 3-minute videos of how the technology works, and you can find the patents and the studies there. There's more studies in your back office, but this is where you're going to find 2 of them. Okay, so this is at info.com as your best friend, and that's at the very top of your link tree. There's also a place where you're going to join Skool, Skool. We are a part of Champion Makers team, and they have a school of resources. Top tier has our link tree, and we're also a part of this. We're blessed to have both. This is where you're going to find testimonials, or you can record a testimonial so that you can share your own testimonial. X39 presentations, product training, if you even want more than what you have on the link tree, how-tos. Just play around as you go down through this. And again, you can get through this at toptierstart.com. You'll see the join school. All right. This is where you're going to see when we're coming in town or when we're going into different areas. You're going to just kind of watch the community page. And again, the this is it info.com, your patents and your studies. That's going to be key for you. Now, if you're a part of Facebook, then I would want you to really join, and all of your people need to join. Again, you don't just send the link, you say, join our community. If they are brand partners, you invite them to the top tier X39 patch up and training and upcoming lives. All right. And that link is in that link is in Top Tier Start. Okay. And then making waves. As you start hitting ranks, as your people start hitting ranks, you're going to announce them on Making Waves. I didn't think that this was important because my love language is not recognition. But I will tell you, my husband, because he was in the corporate world for so long and never felt recognized, and because he owned his own dealership, but Nissan would sometimes recognize him for being the top dealer. We were partners in a dealership. He would, they would recognize him and it would make him feel so good. Guys, we need to recognize when people are changing people's lives. Okay. And then the upcoming events. Thisisitconvention.com. This Unstoppable event is absolutely so important. Super, super important. Okay. So this Unstoppable event, if you say, I really do think that this is where, and trust me, we're going to get into the nitty and gritty in the next 20 minutes and we'll be done. But this Unstoppable, this is really, really, really important. Okay. Very important for you to plug into because you will get trained. Just like you have in franchises, you have a training once a year. This is your training. Okay. And then knowing your calendar. This does not mean that all of these you are getting on. We have all those recorded Zooms. I mostly plug people into recorded Zooms. Full disclosure, I don't invite usually to live Zooms, not because of anything other than I'm in the moment now. If I see somebody, I'm going to ask them if I can invite them to a Zoom. Okay. So, but here are the live Zooms, and Testimony Tuesday is really going to be your favorite, I think. But these are like, hey, I've jumped into this technology. I really think it's incredible, and we are going to absolutely explode this thing. Or I saw your post on Facebook. There's a presentation tonight at 8 o'clock. Would you be willing to jump on and be my guest? That does not mean that you are on. So do not get overwhelmed. You are allowing a system to work for you. You're not working for a system. Okay. So this is what the calendar looks like. All right. And this is what the calendar is going to look like in Champion Makers. They do not have a Testimony Tuesday. Okay. So that's why. And then we actually have the fastest growing team in the world with men. So men, if you're watching this, my husband really is catering to men because men love opportunity. This is not Mary Kay, where just women want this. Men and entrepreneurs want this. Okay. So there's a men's call right here that is just for men on how to share the technology at your businesses, at your corporate offices, etc. Now, we're going to get into the quick nit and gritty of how to get you to manager very quickly and how you get to director very quickly in this business. First of all, you keep this paper on hand at all times. You can find this on Top Tier Start. I never send my link. The doctor that signed up with us, I didn't send him our link. I had this in my, look, I'm holding my crayon. I had this in my folder with me on the airplane. I got his information. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to get rid of it, but I need to know what we need to do for you to get on this patch. We'll impact lives later if you're not ready to impact lives, but you need to get on this patch. See what it does. And this is what I did. I didn't send him a link because I'm already leading him. Okay. So have the forms ready at all times. Okay. We teach servant leadership. Once they order and they're in, then we can teach them how to put in orders. Okay. But you really want to take the first order first. Okay. That's very important. You get paid to talk to people, guys. That's what we get paid to do in this business. Remember, I said earlier that they chose instead of to advertise to pay us to advertise. Why? Our testimonies and the testimonies that we have are really, really powerful versus hearing something on a TV screen that sounds too good to be true. So whatever you decide to do, however you decide to have a daily method of operation, it's totally up to you how many people you want to impact. If you're brand new and you say, there's just a few people that I really want to introduce it to, fantastic. Let's get on the calls. Let's do three ways. Leaders, get on the calls. Offer to do three-way calls. My name is Brittany Francis. You can WhatsApp me at the very top, and my husband and I, we will get on three-way calls with anybody. We love what we do. Okay, so establishing how many people a day is going to decide how quickly you move in this business. And then once you find people that also have a daily method of operation, their franchises start growing. And so before you know it, you have a massive franchise. Okay, now this piece right here is super important. And I want you to screenshot this. Okay, you hit manager by having 750 business volume points in your organization, including your own. Our goal is to get you to director because that means you're a leader. Okay. But I want you to screenshot this. 750 business volume points is what you need to hit manager. If somebody says, well, Bev, I just want to do an X39, I just want to wear the X39, then you have 77 business volume points. And that's great. That counts towards your 750. If you look at somebody and you say, look, are you ever going to talk to somebody about this? And they say, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I do have some people that are hurting. Great. You need to jump in at core, advanced plus, or premium. And whatever they jump in as, that counts towards your 750. And then you auto ship them. Okay, you auto ship them. And that auto ship is 77 business volume points the next month. So at day 31, everything resets, right? That next Monday, everything resets. And so what you want to remember is that you want to consistently have them on auto ship. And besides, remember at the very beginning, there was a reason to my method of madness. Why do we want them to wear it long? Because they want to see long-term results. Okay. So all of this creates major, major volume. Okay. So however many people that you know and love, this is how you can run with this. Okay. You want to enroll 2 advanced or 4 core or above in the first week if you really want to run. Okay. In the 21 fast start plan. Okay. You want to plug them into the system that I'm showing you. Okay. And if they say, no, Bev, I don't want to share yet, that's fine. Then when you're ready, then we're going to do that. Until then, I want you to become part of Patch with Purpose. And here's your health tracker. And I want you to track everything and how you feel. Okay. Let's just plug them into the system. And then you're going to do 2 more people. Okay. Or 4 more people. Okay. Depending on if it's core or advanced, because remember, we want to continuously help you get 750 business volume points. Okay. So that's key. Okay. And then enroll the customer or the PC. Now, guys, hear me. We always talk opportunity because people are looking for opportunity. But if they say, I'm never going to share or I only want to wear the patch, enroll them as a PC and I'm going to show you why. Okay. And plug them into the system in the first 48 hours, guys. We don't just enroll somebody. That's gross. That's MLME. Ugh. This is a business. This is your organization. This is your franchise. And people need to feel like they're part of a community and that you didn't use them. You wanted to impact their life. Okay. And then you continue to do it again. Okay. That's the power. Now, if you are a customer facing individual, I want you to hear me. If you have, If you're a hairdresser or if you're a doctor or a masseuse or whatever you are, okay? If you are any of those things and you're customer facing, okay, every day you see customers. If you decide, okay, I'm going to talk opportunity, but I'm also going to enroll preferred customers. You want to have a goal of 16 or more in a month, every month shipping. Okay. And the reason why is because LifeWave will pay an additional 20% premium to someone or percentage or commission to somebody that has 16 or more customers. I do not. I'm just telling you, I don't have that because I talk opportunity with everyone. So I don't have preferred customers, okay? But this is a great way to get a base. If you have 16 customers a month that start enrolling, plug it in and see what you'll have because eventually you'll have $3, $4, $5, $6,000 of just a baseline if every single month you enroll 16 customers. But remember, you can't get on the trips. You can't get to director. You can't move past manager unless you enroll business partners. Okay. Keep a list. This again is on toptierstart.com. Keep a list of everybody and everything that you sent them. Maybe you patched them. Maybe they came over and you patched them with IceWave and X39. Whatever it is, keep track. Okay. I told you earlier, I'm not a good organized person. This was my demise in the first 6 months. I got 2 ugly text messages back saying, Brittany, you've already talked to me about this. One thing you're always going to get from me is honesty. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just running so fast. I just didn't think about it. I'm so sorry. And I had to apologize. So you want to remember that this is the reason why you're doing it is to impact their lives and to keep a very good track. Okay. How do you reach out to a potential customer if you feel better via text? This is a way. If you haven't talked to somebody in 20 to 25 years, I saw Katie Ryan on here. Uh, and if you're watching this replay, you probably didn't see her name, but Katie and I went to school together when we were in early high school. And, you know, I reached out to her on Messenger, and this is very similar to what I said to her. I remember that she had some health issues when we were kids, and she still had them, and she's gotten great results from this technology and has incredible people in her organization. But this is kind of what it looked like. So screenshot this if you feel best without calling them. And again, text message this one. Hey, I know it's been a long time. Address the elephant in the room. I don't normally do this, but I was going through my phone and your name came up on my heart. I jumped into a technology a few months ago, and the more I think about it, the more this may be something that you want to look at. Look, if they're closed-minded, they're going to say no. What's the worst thing, right? And so I really like this script here. Okay. And then this again, toptierstart.com is where you can find that. Okay. And then after the reach out, you're going to point to the opportunity. Remember, you're not the information giver. Do not spend 20 to 25 minutes. You don't have that time. You probably work. You don't have that time. You're not the information giver. You're the opportunity painter. I have the most unbelievable thing on my hands. I'm going to impact lives. You point to a Zoom that blew you away for a few testimonies. You use us for 3-way calls, send a testimony or two, mark your calendar so that you don't forget to follow up with them, and then continue to the next. Don't hyper focus. Oh my gosh, I'm working on this person. If I get this person, oh my gosh, that's great. But the people that you think will usually take a long time. And the people that you think won't, many times jump in. And so don't hyper focus on anyone. Every single person on that list on step 3, as you're building a list, don't hyper focus. Yeah, they could be huge, but we have people in this organization. You would be mind blown by who's in our organization. And guess what? Guess what? They're not doing anything. It's other people that are doing things that I would have never thought. So screenshot this because this is going to be your key. You can print this, you can use this. This is what creates volume. Okay. This is how you can become a manager. And then what I want you to understand, okay, I'm going to help you, is your goal is 20 people on the left and 20 people on the right. Okay. And when you enroll somebody, when you enroll someone, what you're going to do is you're going to place left and right. Okay. Now, this is what I'm going to paint the vision of. You are a real estate broker. This is you. Okay. And you've got real estate agents that are within your organization. And then and if you say, oh my gosh, I knew this was a pyramid, stop it. You're going to have the same thing here. This is you. So this is a franchise. Okay. And all of these are franchises. These are all people that said yes to you. Okay. So you have your preferred customers that are not ready to share, right? You have your baseline, but then you have 20 people that you're left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay. And in your back office, I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute, but this is eventually what it's going to look like. You're going to have franchises that break off in your organization. And then this person may tell this person. And then this person might turn around and tell this person. Okay. You're going to have a massive established business. And some people may not share at all, but some people will. But they won't if you don't plug them into the system. Eventually, our goal is that you will have 10 to 20 established franchises with a base of also some consistent preferred customers. That's your goal. Okay. Some can do this very quickly. Some take a little bit more time because they get preferred customers because they're more customer facing. That's fine. This is your goal. Remember, this is an establishment of an entrepreneurship. Okay, so it may not happen overnight, and that's okay. For us, it took 8 months for us to really go, okay, skyrocket. Okay, but this is the most important piece. Do you see all these? These aren't just circles. Do you see how deep some of these are? These are people, and you want to know your people. Okay, know who sponsored them. So, you know what I tell everybody? Introduce every single person to me. Introduce every single person to me. Okay. Very, very, very important. Because I want to be able to turn around and say, look, I am so excited that you're in our organization. I could not be more excited. John and Rita brought you in. I'm here if they're ever busy. I'm here. And you know what that means? You know what that does? That establishes such a good rapport and it makes them realize that they absolutely matter. Okay. So that's key. Okay. Know their why. Help them set up a timeline. Some people may say, you know what? I don't want to set the world on fire. I have a heart condition. You know what? That's okay. We want them to wear the darn patch. You want to know their whys. Okay. Know their strengths. Know how fast they want to run. Treat them like people because you're going to have two businesses within your organization, a recruiting business and a sharing with people business, right? You're going to have people in the pipeline that are really on your heart, people that are waiting for miracles. You're going to have people that want to build organizations. You want to spend time with your people that want to run. And the people that want to walk, you want to just kind of love them where they're at. Send them some testimonies, get them on Testimony Tuesdays, which are great. And then just love on them. Okay? Establish a daily method of operation as a leader. Establish that you are a leader. You are a leader. Even if you don't have an army yet, you are a leader. Okay? Be a problem solution interrogator. Find out what's wrong. What happened? What happened? Okay? Next, be a testimony seeker. Now, this is very, 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 very important. YouTube has great testimonies, not just toptierstart.com. But I want you to see this. When you go to toptierstart.com and you scroll, you're going to see patents, studies, and testimonies. This right here, this X39 testimonials, do you see this? This is a YouTube playlist of so many testimonies. The lady next to me had osteoarthritis. So I was able to actually scroll down and find her an osteoarthritis testimony and send it to her. Perimenopause, energy issues, kidneys, whatever it is, it's there. And also in school, know your tools, guys. This is your business. Know your tools. Introduce the people to the technology, and then teach your people how to introduce to the technology, and then transfer the skill. Know the back office. Log in, get with your sponsor. Okay, get with your sponsor. And then what you want to do is you want to log in. You want to make sure that you're on auto ship, okay, because you own your business for wearing the patch, okay? 2 sleeves a month, you own your business. Or if you do like an X39 and an Eon or an X39 Alavita. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you really just kind of play around, okay? Don't memorize your back office yet. We will help you do that. But something that's very important in your back office is knowing how to build left and build right. So when you go to your back office and you click your settings, okay, and there's actually at Top Tier Start, there's a training on how to go left, right, okay? When you click change settings, you're going to scroll down and it's going to be build left, build right, strong leg. You're going to do build left, build right, build left, build right. Okay. Then all of a sudden you're going to get a Nolan or you're going to get John Hinckley who says, you know what? I'm going to impact the world with this technology. I'm ready to impact the world. Then you're going to swing over to the opposite side and you're going to put several people on the opposite side. And we're going to teach you how to do that every step of the way. Just know that until you take the step of impacting lives, that nothing else matters. Don't be an overthinker. Until you're plugging people into the Zooms, the rest of it doesn't matter. Until you're following up, the rest of it doesn't matter. The main piece is getting this patch on every single person that you know and love. And if you do share your link, you want to walk them through it. You want to tell them, okay, you're going to click join, and then I'm going to walk you through it while I'm on the phone. Don't ever just send your link, guys. Love your people enough, love people enough to know what you have your hands on. And then this is going to be the last piece that I really want to really tell you. Be prepared for somebody to have like a, this, that, I found this on Amazon or I found this on, guys, those aren't real. Okay. I'm going to show you a video to show you.
Okay, so I tried beating the system. I bought my IceWave patch from Walmart online. They came, and sure enough, it's not a 2-pack thing, and they're blank. There's no seal on them. Made in China, and they surely don't work. I wouldn't stick one of these on me.
Guys, turn around and say, who's the seller? Okay, this is going to be my biggest piece that I'm going to tell you right now. Who's the seller? They found it on Walmart or Amazon. If Amazon has it with LifeWave, they have to buy their $99 sleeve for $179. You know why? Because LifeWave's committed to its brand partners. Bingo. And they can also, Amazon will turn around when there's a third-party seller and say, get out of here. LifeWave is the person that you have to go to. Okay? Next, if it's on Walmart, Know your facts. Click who's the seller. And I'm going to say this very boldly. Be ready for silliness and come back with the answers. Know how to win, know how to love people, and know how to impact people. Okay? Because that's so vitally important. You're building a legacy. You're building a legacy, not just a business. This is going to be something that we're going to be able to give to our children for generations to come, guys. What is in store with LifeWave is mind-blowing. So
Wow.
just know that you have a very special, 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 special business on your hand. Harness the dreams that you have in your heart for your family. Harness them. If you're married, be a dynamic duo. Okay? Do not expect your spouse to be you. If they're not on board yet, it's okay. They'll come. Speak life over your business. Teach and equip the next generation. My children, they're coming into this business because I know the future. My 19-year-old has a spot in this organization. Why? Because I know what she has her hands on. And revisit your hopes and your dreams often. If you gather that everything was created for a purpose on purpose, live it out. I'm going to open up for questions for the next 6 minutes, but I want you to understand that when you walk into a room, guys, with this, you should be walking in with expectation. Wear it somewhere that you can see it and know that you have the tools to share it. Know that you have the tools. Know that what you have your hands on is so special and unique, and that everybody needs you that you walk into that room. And just because they don't believe you doesn't mean it's not real. It just simply means that they're not ready for it yet. But if you look at them and say, will you honor me? Will you honor me when you do say yes? Because I know that every single person is going to be utilizing this technology that really does a dig a deep dive into the science. And eventually someone's voice is going to catch your eye or your ear. Will you honor me? Because I thought of you first. And I want to be a part of your story. So hopefully that makes sense. I want to open it up for just the next 5 minutes. And if there's any questions, I would love to answer them.